Hi everyone, I'm Ashok Kumar Yash and I'm also called as Ashok SLSK. So as I have promised in the last episode that I would be training Firebase Android chat application, and here we go. So in this episode we are going to focus on fundamentals of Firebase and the components used in a typical chatting application, and what are the benefits and enhancements for your application if you use a chat service system. Say, suppose a chartered accountant uses his own personalized auditing application where he has about hundreds of clients and where he calculates every month's tax and he mails it to individuals for their monthly tax policies. And how about this? If he gets to chat with that individual client, and that client able to chat with this chartered accountant for all the tax related doubts clarification and everything, things would be much more easier to this situation. Many other cases like a doctor and patient and doctor, if they can chat to each other, then things will be much more easier. And there are other areas where Firebase does a brilliant job. So the certain things that you should know before starting this episode is basics of Android and should have worked on web service based mobile applications. And that's it. You're good to go. So, and what are we waiting for? Let's jump in and let's get started. Let's create a new application. I'll call it as Let's Chat. And I'm saving it in my project location and I'm totally fine with the package name. Okay, and I'm agreeing with this default setting. And I would prefer API level 16 is the super choice because many of the components even doesn't work in 14, API level 14. So I prefer getting things done easier in API level 16. So I'm okay with that, and I'll create an empty activity and I'm creating the project. So that's all you have to do in this step. The project is created and all we need to do is get ready the project to work with Firebase. So in the episode description I have added the dependency, so please utilize it. So this is the dependency, and never forget to add this packaging option in the scope of Android tags. So Android tags, so this is the scope of Android tags and I'm adding the package options here. My Gradle is synced and I have Firebase up and running in my application. So next step is adding internet permission to the application. So never forget this. Very important permission. Many of us will fail to add this one line of code and would have done the coding part perfectly, but the small one line would definitely make the app crash. So be careful about it. Once your library is synced, do add the internet permission. So we need to configure our Firebase. So Firebase dot set Android context. So this is what we have to do to initialize Firebase to the current activity, but we want Firebase to the entire application lifecycle. So what do we have to do in that case? So let's create a new class, call it as app lifecycle, app life app, and extends to application, and here in onCreate method we will copy and paste this one line of code, and this will be available to the entire application. And do not forget, you need to add this application to the application tags namespace. And this is how it's been done. So that's it. Firebase is superly configured and we are good to go. Let's start our chatting UI. So this is our XML editor. So I'll get rid of the default boilerplate codes. I'll remove the text view, and instead of relative layout, I would say I would prefer linear layout, and I would delete all the padding. Or so this is my code. I have a list view which has the ID, say message list, and a linear layout which is configured horizontally. So this is my main activities layout. So that is UI. So we need to create one more layout, say message item. So in the message item, we would like to see a simple text view. So just add a simple text view with an unique ID. So that's it. Our message item is configured. So let's jump into our Java. So let's create a class called message, and this is a typically a POJO, plain old Java object. So it has nothing to do with any logics. All it needs is a variables and getters and setters methods. So I'll call it as text. So the text which is being sent, and message or sender, and date. So instead of calling date, I'll call a date function from Java date util class. I'll call it as date. And by pressing Command N in Mac and Control Shift N in Windows, you should be able to see this option. So I want getters and setters. So I would select all these three. So our POJO class is prepared, and let's close this. I'm switching to my Android monitor, and I don't have any devices connected as of now, and still programming, so I would connect my device later. So I would like to create a message data source class which handles all the Firebase related operations, and it extends to nothing. So a Firebase class and its reference, and here there should be your Firebase URL and simple date format for message timestamp and a logcat resource. So these two fields are the keys in one particular message object. So after that, I would like to create an interface which does a message callback. Whenever message gets added, it adds up this message class instance that we have created. Okay, so now let's write a method to save a message. Public static void save message, and it accepts two params, message, and call it as message again, and string convo ID. So convo ID is conversation ID. So create new date instance. And I would say message dot get mdate. Next I'll call string key. The key is basically a simple date formatted date, and date is date. This is going to be our message timestamp. Now I would like to create an hash map with a key value pair, key being string and value also being string. You can have other generic types as well, but for my messaging application, so this suits a lot more. So my hash map is ready. Now I would put message dot put column text as message dot getM text and message dot put column sender, and I would say some XYZ. So now I'll take this sref. Do not forget to add your URL, Facebook, your Firebase URL. We need to still add that. Sref dot child convo id dot child key dot set value message. So this is our save message method. So after writing this method, write a class with the name message listener. So the name is your wish, and it needs to be implements child event listener. So that is something important, and implement its methods. In the message listener class, so just take the message callback interface as its instance. To create constructor, the constructor creation again goes Command N in Mac, Control N in Windows. So you have created constructor. So after the constructor, in onChild added callback, so we have to call the data snapshot, and we know that I have already explained in Firebase everything is an object. An object within an object can also have a hash map structure. So let's create an hash map, key value pair, and again it's string and string because the key is also string and the value is also string, and I would say it has MSG again, and I would take data snapshot and I'll get value, and don't forget to cast it to hash map. So our data has been retrieved, but we need much more precise value. So let's instantiate message class. Set sender is equal to msg dot get value is going to be column sender, and set text value is going to be column text, and set date is going to be date format dot parse data snapshot dot get key, so that's it. And here, if callbacks not equal to null, in that case we would say on message added message. That's it. One fabulous message data source class is done. So this is kind of an util or a helper class. So now get started with configuring our main activity. So instead of app compat activity, I would extend this to action bar activity because of using toolbar. So it is very good practice. It's already deprecated for uh, newer versions of Android, but there are other app compat activities which is going to get released in future, which does whatever the action bar activity does. Okay, so now I would implement on click list now. Okay, so this interface is done, and uh, message data source dot message callbacks and implement its methods. Okay, on message added. And now, so we have all methods from all the implemented classes. Now let's map our list view and other components to the main activity. So these are the member instances that I would be using this in this class scope. So I have to write one message adapter, and I have to import this state util class from java.util. Okay, so the message adapter class is an array extended to an array adapter class, and its generic types will have the message POJO plain old Java object as its parameter. So message item view dot message dot get text. So it is message dot get text get sender. Okay, our message adapter is ready. It's very simple adapter. So it extends to array adapter with the message generic, and it accepts one array list of message, and it will have a context, and it will have its layout and its view. So that's it. So now I'll map all the list view and the edit text and button to main activity. Instead of typing all the codes, I'll do a little fasten up because the video is already getting 20 minutes. So yeah, so this is my recipient uh, name, and I'll have to set my sender name, and I'll show you where to set sender name, and I'll show you how can you use this program as a chatting service. You have to build one more layer on top of this code so that things are like, looks exactly like a chatting application. So this code is already on GitHub. You can check github.com/ashokslsk, and awesome firebase is the repository name. And other thing is that, so that's it. This is the program. This is how it works. Main activity and a simple adapter with a message data source which to help firebase or data structure creation. So on click of this button, this steps would get triggered. One is uh, it it fetches the message from edit text and adds it to the uh, message object, message POJO. So it is set em date and set em text and set em sender. Uh, it's up to you how do you create your hash map structure. And on, okay, so one more thing. Okay, after on click, so on message added callback, you will call mmessages.addMessage, so which is basically this instance, and you will notify the data adapter. And you can override on destroy method and stop message. So what we can do is, so we have to stop listening to this message data source. So that is mlistener. So go to here and call it mlistener dot stop. Basically you will have to call message data source dot stop. So yes, I have to write this stop service in message data source, and very simple callback, public static void stop message listener, remove event listener of the firebase reference, and save everything. Should work fine. Okay, so okay, I have added this in a wrong place. So add this inside of message data source class, not in message listener, and save the changes. And now stop mlistener. Yes, so now the complete program is up and running. So any error? Okay, so this is your chatting application. After doing this, you will have understood the child parent architecture of Firebase. Firebase is basically an object within object, hash map, data structure, and you would have understood array adapter and many of the things. So not compiling this program, I'll let you do that. So just compile once and post the comments on the below if you find any issue, and I would definitely reply for that. So yeah, passing this Ashok recipient name and sending sender name is your choice, and these IDs are basically your conversation ID. Hashif and Ashok is the conversation ID. So this is user 1 who might be sender, I am Hashif, and if I'm sending, I would be the position 1 and 0. If I am the recipient, then I would be in the position 1. So this is how it works. So that's my conversation ID, and you can use any random classes to generate a conversation ID and pass it over on the same thing. So you can set your sender name in message data source as Ashok or XYZ. So that's it. You should be able to get to go. So let's compile the program as sender as Ashok and receiver as uh, receiver as okay, so Mona Lisa. So now I'm compiling this program, and after, to check this chat service, I'll make another build with sender as Mona Lisa and recipient as Ashok. So that will take care of. If you change this IDs, that would be much more sweet. So that's okay for now. So you'll understand the concept. So by the time that program gets compiled, I'll log into my Firebase. So I have one real device, and I have a web portal as another device. So how I will show you guys how can Firebase acts as a chatting system. So I am Ashok, who is sending text to Mona Lisa right now, and I'm sending hi. You guys can see that it's reflected so in real time. So now I'll add one more data with this time, with an incremented time, and I'll add sender as Mona Lisa and the text as hello dear. Okay, before I press enter, I'll have to add this. It should work. It should work. So you guys can see that it worked. So Mona Lisa sent back hello dear to me. In the same compilation, you just have to change the receiver and sender name, and how do you program is your wish, and things will be this much beautiful in terms of technology. So thanks for Firebase and Google for providing such an amazing technology, and thanks for all my viewers. Any doubts and anything can be followed by comments, and you will definitely be answered for sure. Thank you for watching.